everyone's looking for the young guy. They're looking for McVay. I think take a shot out Todd Bowles, get him a second shot at head coach, and see if he can do it.
I don't think they will. If they don't have Anthony Davis, I'm saying it right now. If Anthony Davis is out for the playoffs, they don't make it out of the first round.
It's crazy. And our kids will know how great Tom Brady is because he's going to be playing.
Yes, it is 15.0%.
That's what the Yankees brought Garrett Cole to do.
He was a 6th-round pick. This is a fairy tale story that's being written in front of our eyes.
People like to call them their JV team, and they just stole one of their better players.
They didn't struggle against the Padres. The Padres didn't really put up a fight in most of the games.
Jerry Jones, hope you're listening.
Hi, I'm Landon Bowe, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. The NBA regular season is almost here, and here we are doing our top 10s. And let's start with probably one of the flashiest positions, and the point guard touches the ball and just makes all the decisions traditionally in basketball. And Austin, this one was a tough list to make. There are so many good point guards to me, and it's hard. You got to go, okay, who is the best one?
Yeah, and I think the situation has also kind of determined how I ranked this, because it's kind of a prediction as well. So this isn't saying like today. This is saying for this next year who are going to be the best point guards in the league. We've kind of seen a resurgence of some of these players that are on this list, while others have kind of fallen down per se. But I'm interested. Do you want to go with? Do you have any honorable mentions first? I'll say that.
I think I'll go one honorable mention is Derek White with Boston.
Okay. I do not have Derek White on this list, but that is a good option. He will be in the. I don't know if he's going to be in the starting lineup because they also have Anthony Simons, and I haven't really seen how Boston's going to do their starting lineup. But White, if he is starting, great player. Even if he's off the bench, great player, great defender. I don't have him as an honorable mention on my list. I didn't have any because I felt like there was going to be either too many to add, and I didn't want to forget some people. So I'll let you start with your 10.
So my 10 is Ja Morant. He's someone that he's fantastic, but injury concerns have been a problem for him and off the field issues. But he's someone that just athletically can score and can make some good passes. And I think it's just kind of putting it all together because injuries and off the field issues kind of hurt his development after some really strong seasons. So he's someone that I think takes some time, but can be a really good point guard this year.
Yeah, this was a tough list for me. I think especially because of all the injuries we've seen. Like, obviously, Kyrie Irving's not going to be on this list because he got hurt. Damian Lillard's not going to be on this list because he got hurt. And when we get to the small... Halliburton, he's not going to be on this list because he got hurt. Then you have, for other positions, like later when we do the small forwards, Tatum is not going to be on that list because he got hurt. / power forward, wherever you put him. So I do think that injuries really spell a concern for some of these positions. But I have Trae Young at my 10. Young is a player that I think is underrated by some and overrated by others. He's a great assist guy. He's going to be able to get you a lot of assists. However, he shoots the ball a lot. Last year, he shot 34% from 3 on 8.4 attempts per game. He did lead the league in assists. And so if you're having a fantasy basketball league, he should definitely be higher than 10 on your list. But shooting 41% from the field, 34% from 3, and being as poor of a defender as he is, I have him at 10 on my list. I think that he, in a better situation, may be a little bit better, but he shoots the ball too much and too inefficiently for me to have him higher than this, even though he is a top 5 passer in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, so he's someone I'll get to in just a sec. But my 9 is Tyrese Maxey. He's someone that had a stellar year and was continuing to grow, and then he had a lot of injuries last year and missed a majority of last year. But I do think he comes back from that injury, but because of that injury, that kept him lower on this list.
Okay. This is so tough. I mean, go into these. I have 9. I have De'Aaron Fox. He is going to miss the beginning of the season with an injury, which is not something you want to see if you're the Spurs, but I think that he'll be a good player this year when healthy. He'll help develop with Victor Wembanyama, who's yet to have a star point guard around him, even though he did have Chris Paul last year, who did help him out a lot. But I think Fox will be good in San Antonio. I think that's a good fit.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit, and I do have him a little bit higher, even with the injury. But who's your 8?
My 8 is John Morant. So you had him at 10, right?
Yeah, 10.
Okay. Yeah, I believe more in John Morant. I don't think he's going to be suspended this year, which will alleviate some of the games he's missed. He's missed games with injuries, yes, but he's also missed even more games with suspension the past 2 years. So I don't think he's going to get suspended, and I think that he, without Bane, will have more opportunities to score and facilitate than he did last year. So I expect him to have a big year.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he does without Bane. We actually flip-flopped our 10 because your 10 was Trae Young, right?
Yes.
So my 8 is Trae Young, so we flipped it. Trae Young, I agree, can be overrated and underrated, but he's someone that does have a lot of assists and I think continues to grow with less shots and just taking those high percentage shots that he can make as he is great at shooting the 3. So that is my 8.
Who's your 7?
My 7 is Cade Cunningham. He's a player that the Pistons, after a terrible year before last year, got better. And he's someone that I think continues to grow as a passer. And he looked up to Luka. And I think he's never going to be Luka, in my opinion, but he can be someone that can shoot the ball, pass it, and really help the offensive side with the Pistons.
Okay, I have him higher on my list. My number 7 is Tyrese Maxey. I believe you had him at 9, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So I have Maxey at 7. He is, let's be honest, while maybe this year Joel Embiid's more healthy than he was last year, he's still going to miss time. And Tyrese Maxey, during those times, he's going to be the entire offense for this team. Sure, they have VJ Edgecombe. Sure, they have Paul George. Sure, they have some other guys that can score. But the main offensive output will be coming from Maxey. Maxey's a guy who last year shot worse from the field and the worse from 3 than he did the season prior. But I think that's partially because he'd never been the number 1 guy on a team. He averaged 26, 3 and 6 while averaging almost 2 steals a game, which is extremely impressive. I think this year he'll have a better year. He's only 24 right now. This is his age 25 season. He turns 25 during November. So he's still a really young guy, and I think that he will continue to grow into a better player this season.
Yeah, I'm really excited for his growth. I'm interested in how well he does this year after the injuries because I do agree he's going to have to carry a lot of the load when Embiid is out, and Embiid's probably going to miss more time. So that was your 7. My 6 is De'Aaron Fox. I'm so excited to see him pair with Wembanyama and just what the two of them do. And Sabonis and Fox played well together as a duo, but just having Wembanyama just makes it incredible with Fox, and I think they're really going to be a dangerous duo for the Spurs with the Spurs and for other teams.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. Fox should be up there, so I like you have him where you have him. My number, we're on 6, right?
Yep, 6. Yeah.
My number 6 is James Harden. Harden's a player that played amazing last year. He helped lead the Clippers to a much better record than they really expected. And I think that he'll do the same thing this year, especially if Kawhi misses any time regarding the situation that happened over the offseason. But Harden played really well last year. He averaged 23 and 9, 22.8 and 8.7 to be exact, while still averaging almost 6 boards per game, averaging 1.5 steals, 0.7 blocks, while still shooting good from free throw. He did shoot 35% from 3, which is not his normal, like 38%, but still solid. He was a great player last year after having a pretty disappointing year the year before that and the year before that. So it was kind of a resurgence here back to almost his Rocket days, really his Brooklyn days. Probably his best season since he was with Brooklyn for that kind of like half year. So I expect him to be like that again this year. They're going to have a lot of opportunity for him to lead the offense, but he's not going to be the entire offense, which is why I think he played so well last year. Whether it was Norman Powell scoring, Ivica Zubac scoring, Kawhi scoring, this year it's going to be Zubac or Bradley Beal or Chris Paul or John Collins. They have such a deep team around him. And James Harden does best when he has a lot of great players around him because he's such a good passer and facilitator, and that helps himself score more points. So I think Harden is in the perfect situation for him to have a great year again this year.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you. I just have him one spot higher. He's my 5. For all the reasons you said, James Harden really kind of has found a different level. He was a fantastic scorer with Houston. He still is, but he's more of a facilitator now with the Clippers, and I think that's really huge and has helped them become better and just helped him. It's really given a lot, and he has so many great players around him on the Clippers that I think he should have another great year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll go into my 5.
Who's
My
5,
5, yeah. My 5 is Stephen Curry. Curry has some injury concerns always. His ankles have always been shot, but Curry is looking like an amazing player who's going to continue to be just an all-star level player for the rest of his career. It seems like he shot his highest free throw percentage in a season since his second year. He shot 93.3%. He did shoot under 40% from 3, but I'm not really concerned about that. He shot 39.7. I think he'll be back over 40 this year with Jimmy there. I think if he had Jimmy the entire season, it kind of takes some of the offensive burden off him. He would have had a better year. I think Al Horford is going to be helpful to him too because he can stretch the floor. Horford can, but he's also a great defender, so Curry doesn't have to be too hard on defense. The same thing with Butler being a great defender. Curry is an amazing player. I do worry a little bit regarding injuries. Again, to the start of the season, he's supposed to miss a little bit of time. But Curry's going to be a great player this year. I don't know if you know this, but they added a new rule. Basically, if you were to hit somebody in the hand while they shot, it's not a foul. But this year, apparently, the NBA is adding that it is a foul this year if you hit their hand after they shoot. The person who's hit the most in the hand after they shoot is Stephen Curry because he's the best shooter of all time. So I think that Curry will have a little bit more free throw attempts this year.
Yeah, you keep introducing the guy that I'm about to say, and because my 4 is Steph Curry. He is truly incredible, and he is an all-time great, and I think he'll continue that. But you have a lot of young guys that I would view better than him, and you still haven't said Cade Cunningham, so I'm like, okay, I view that as kind of you view Cade as Steph better next year, but he's truly a great 3-pointer. But he really has to be surrounded now, just given that I don't think he can carry the load like he used to. If the Warriors want to be a really good team and win another championship, he can be that guy at the end, but it's more kind of giving him time during the regular season. But I think he's going to be fantastic. So he is my 4.
Okay. My 4 is Jalen Brunson. Brunson had an amazing year last year. Brunson has just been a storybook player ever since he left Dallas. He went to go to the team that his dad was an assistant coach for. He was a second-round pick with the Mavs and has continued to improve every year. If we go since 2021, he had 12.6, or we'll go to the year before that. Since 1920, 8.2 points, 12.6 points, 16.3, 24, 28.7, and last year 26. But I'd argue last year was his best year because he averaged more assists, and he had better players around him, so he didn't have as much of a concern regarding scoring. He shot 48.8% from the field, 38% from 3, 82% from the line. An amazing player. He did lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is the furthest that he's made it since he was with the Mavs and went to the Western Conference Finals. Last year in the postseason, he averaged 29 and 7 assists while still shooting 46% from the field. And he seems like he turns up his game in the playoffs. He's averaging 25.4 points per game in the playoffs for his career, and that includes that series against the Clippers in 21 where he averaged only 8 points. But then the next year with the Mavericks in the playoffs, he averaged 22 points. And then ever since then with the Knicks, he's been amazing. I think he'll be a great player this year, and I'm excited to see how far the Knicks can make it in a very weak Eastern Conference.
Yeah, you do it again because Jalen Brunson is my 3. I do think this version of him it just wouldn't exist on the Mavs because in that scenario he's with Luka.
Wait, yeah. I have a question. Do you think they would have traded Luka if they had re-signed Jalen Brunson? And if the answer is yes, could Brunson be this for the Mavs now that Luka's gone?
I would say no because I view the Luka trade as an ego move. So if they kept Jalen, then traded Luka, then I think maybe you could see this with Jalen, but it would be this year.
Okay.
They'd be better off if they kept Jalen and traded Luka because they just don't really have a good point guard. But then they wouldn't get Kyrie. But it's someone to where Jalen is just that guy, that primary scorer for the Knicks. I don't know if he's that guy yet. We'll have to see just kind of what you need in basketball, but he's someone that's very efficient and can just make great plays. And that is why he's at my 3.
Okay. We finally get to the guy that you wanted me to say, so that I didn't say all the players before you. My number 3 is Cade Cunningham. Cade is really grown into an elite passer, one of the best passers in the league, while also still continuing to score a lot of points. He averaged 26 points per game, but averaged 9.1 assists last year, averaging 1.0 steals, 0.8 blocks. He's starting to shoot better. He shot his best percentage from 3 last year on 6 attempts per game at 35.6%. And he shot his best from the field at 46.9%. He was 7th in MVP voting, and that was very deserved as the Pistons took the Knicks to 6, who ended up going to the Eastern Conference Final. I think the Pistons are a contender this year in the East. The East has a lot of weak teams, and I think that this Pistons roster has gotten better, and I think that Cade will continue to improve. I think he is a serious threat to average 10 assists per game this year, average 27 or more points, and that would put him, in my opinion, as the 3rd best point guard in the league. He is the Pistons' heart and soul, and he continues to really impress me as I watch him progress through his career.
Yeah, that's a great pick. And yeah, we differ. Yeah, I've met 7, you have met 3, but I can understand it. This is a prediction, and if the Pistons continue to go up, that will largely be because of Cade Cunningham's success and just kind of what he grows into. And instead of me or you previewing for me, I'll let you go first on this one.
You may not like it, but my number 2 is Luka.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that because Shea won a title, and the MVP, even though I think Jokic should have won the MVP, but the title is still there. I think that Shea deserves 1 and Luka deserves 2. I think these players speak for themselves, though. I don't want to go too far in depth into explaining why they're 1 and 2. I think that's very self-explanatory, but I think Shea gets the edge slightly because of last season, but Luka could take it back easily this year.
Yeah, I totally understand. I'm not totally upset about it because I was only going to be upset. I'm sure he has Luka on his list, but I was wondering if that wouldn't be in there. But I'm sure you can understand. I have Shea at 2. I am fully biased. But I do, and I kind of have Shea at 2 because I expect Luka at 1 to have an incredible season this year. I think he puts it all together. To me, he's that type of competitor where a trade like the trade he went through from the Mavericks to the Lakers puts him over the top of like, okay, I'm going to focus on my conditioning. Because if not now, then I'm not sure when the conditioning happens if the trade doesn't really force it. It seems like it's doing that, but we've gone through this before to see. But it's no discredit to Shea. It's just kind of how much I value Luka and what I see. But Shea, yeah, title does work, and just seeing what we can do and what he can do with it because he is a better defensive presence. Luka still needs. I don't think Luka over be the type of defensive presence that Shea is for the Thunder. But if he can just be average on defense, then to me his offense would outweigh what Shea does on defense. But it's really, if you have one of these two guys, it's really incredible.
Yeah, I don't think either team is mad to have this guy on them, even though I think I said that last year and they traded him.
Yeah, and then one just had, and he was like, all right, I'm done. So yeah, that's still weird for me, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.